Yay, we're live. Happy Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday. It's the weekend again. Hope you had a good week. Um, this week went so fast. Oh my God. I can't even believe it's already Friday. I
Yeah,
mean, I barely can't remember how the day just breezed by every single day of this week. I think it's probably because of the the weather.
yeah. It's terribly cold,
It is
freezing.
really cold. Yeah. But anyhow, hope you all of you are doing good. You're doing all right.
Mhm.
You had a good week too,
Yeah, I did.
because today we are going to be doing Q&A, right? We are changing the format of our life now. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be touching some of your questions in the group. We've been reading them. Some of you guys are asking some very, very good questions. And I think that if we talk about it, some other people will benefit from it. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely will. I think so. I agree with you.
So, guys, this is just a reminder also that if you have questions that you feel you don't want to post publicly, you can also email us at livesinglesdeeperlife@gmail.com, or you can also message us on Facebook in the DMs.
Yes.
And for sure, we're going to get to you.
Hmm.
Sometimes we have a lot of messages and we technically don't see it, but if you can also tag us in the comment section and say "Oh, I've DM'd you. Can you please check?" Something like that.
Yeah.
Will also help because man, we are all busy. We live in busy life.
Hmm. Hmm.
so, so yeah. We have some interesting questions today, so I think we just go straight into it. No, you guys know us already, right? If you don't know, I'm your humble self, David, the single admin in the group, um, and you know your favorite host, right? She's married, right? So we don't need to introduce her again. But I don't know if you want to introduce yourself again.
Sister Princess in the house. Um, I'm happy to be here. I hope you're happy to see my face.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, she used to give a lot of practical, thought-provoking, simple um, advices, which a lot of you guys have been loving. But
Mhm.
I guess me, I'm on the other spectrum of it. I say it the way it is, the way I feel like.
Mhm.
Maybe it's like tough love or something. I don't know. Well, today, let's see what we have. We have somebody in the groups posted this. I guess this must be a guy we don't know, but it's asking two questions in one. Question number one: as a lady, what's your definition of seriousness in a young man? And then he asks, as a young man, what's that thing that's delaying you from approaching that church lady? I mean,
Those are very nice questions, really.
which one do you want to go for?
Uh, we can start with I mean, like, we can go with either or. But let's see, as a lady, what's the definition of seriousness in a young man? Hmm. And as a young man, was yeah, okay. Let me start from as a lady. What's the definition of as of seriousness in a young man? Um, well, there are different definitions of seriousness, but for me, let me see. Just give me 1 minute. I'm trying to make sure that TT is connected. I don't like to say the name in full, but if you know what I mean,
Oh, okay. You're logging into on TT. Okay.
yeah. I was
Right,
not going to, but I think we should, because sometimes those people are missing out.
right. So I think this question is from two perspective of a guy and perspective
Mhm.
of a
Of the
woman, I
lady.
guess.
So it's on
Yes,
both
it's
sides. Let me see if I can get some. Let's see. Yeah, so I think it's connected over there. Hello, Titi. How are you doing? It's so happy to be here. Let's all fall in. Let's come. We have Q&A. I'll read out the question and we can all chime in. And if you have something to share, please feel free to share. Um, so what we're addressing is as a lady. It was an anonymous participant in one of our groups, the main group of the page, and who asked this question. As a lady, what's your definition of seriousness in a young man? And as a young man, what's that thing that's delaying you from approaching that church lady? So there's going to be a couple of things that we're going to talk about quickly, but I'm going to start to answer what it is as a lady. As a lady, well, my own definition of seriousness at the time is yeah, hi, God is love. Welcome. Welcome. I'm going to be welcoming people as they come in. Faber, Manose, welcome too. Yeah, so as a young lady or as a lady, my own definition, or I think many ladies, we all have different definitions, but one main definition of a serious young man is a man that is focused, that knows where he's going. Yeah, a man who has first of all found himself. That's my main definition of seriousness in a young man, and a man that keeps to his word, not a man that is just there to play around, but a man that is actually trying to a
so
man that has defined himself first of all and is knows where he's going. That's number one thing. Because someone who is lost cannot
okay,
lead a lost person.
can I ask a question? Because like I'm thinking when you're giving these answers, I heard someone that knows where it's going.
Yes.
Usually, it's very common that sisters say that, but most guys don't understand what that actually means.
Okay. Well, a man that knows where he's going is that number one, like he doesn't just get blown by every wind. A man that has conviction. Okay. So everybody should have tenets of things that governs how they live their lives. Okay. So for example, if you are a Christian, you cannot be on the fence. You should have
You mean like principles?
clear Christian principle that you abide by.
Okay.
Like what do you think about um before I get married? That's one question that I want every lady before you get married to ask the man that you want to get married to. What's your definition, or what's your beliefs, or what's your stance about divorce? Divorce is becoming a very common thing nowadays. So it's very good to know what the man that you're getting married to thinks about divorce. Where is his stand? Does he believe that when you get married, you marry for life? Or does he think that when you get married, if there are issues in the marriage, you can always jump out? Is he the kind of person that is able to stay and stand and weather the storm and, not chicken out, not decide to fall back to his exes, or fall back to his mama, or fall back to anybody that can serve as a pillow for him? So, what is his stance about how do you handle issues when problems come? How do you handle problems? Do you run away or do you try to resolve it peacefully, trying to find not who to blame, who to point the finger at, but what's the problem? What's causing us to have misunderstanding all the time? And how can we um, come to a peaceful resolution of problems? Okay, that's one. And then does he what are his core beliefs? Does he believe I mean, spiritual beliefs, or does he believe that um, there's life after life? So I'm going to go from spiritual to physical to financial to, there's so many beliefs that people hold on to. People believe there's some people that believe that I have to work hard, and before if I'm going to eat, I need to work. So they have the good values about the work ethic. Their work ethic is sound. Some other people, they believe that no, life doesn't have to be like that. I can always, cheat my way around to get to whatever I want to get to in life. Yes, there are some people like that. And if you have that kind of person, you definitely know that you have chosen that kind of person for your children. Because whatever you choose as a husband is the kind of father that you're choosing for your children. So the man has to have very sound principles about life, principles about hard work, principles about being honest, principle about being upright, principles about um, how what he gives to people and what he expects to get. Whatever you give is what you should expect to receive. The golden rule: give unto others what you want them to give to you. And what does he believe? Like, what kind of family did he grow up in? Did he grow up in a family where men have to be responsible and take care of their wives? Or did he grow up, or is he somebody that believe? I mean, you can grow up in a family where the men didn't really took care of the women, but you yourself, you decide to be such a person that will be the ideal man that any woman will look up to, like the one who will stand for his family, the one who will support his family, the one who will love his family, the one who, have the back of his family and all that. But you don't have to. I mean, you can learn it from the men in your family, and you might not even have the opportunity of learning it, but you have the right coaches in your life who can guide you, the right coaches in your life. So who does he listen to? That's one thing
Mhm.
that I want to ask every time. I want to know, who
Okay.
does the man that you will getting married to listen to? What associations does he keep? What friends does he keep? Because those people, show me the three people that are always in your life. I'll tell you what kind of person you are. So the kind of relationship that he keeps will definitely shape his beliefs. It will shape how he thinks, because those are the voices that he will always hear. Those are the people that he will always hang out with, and they will definitely affect his manliness, or his being a husband, or his personality and his beliefs and the way he approaches life. Um, so what? And then another definition of seriousness in a young man is a man that is willing to do right by you. Okay. When I say right by you, I mean someone who um, is not playing around with you. Some people will say that they like you, they want to get married to you, but they will keep you waiting for the next 3 years, 4 years. They have no program, they have no plans of when
So
this is going to become
it,
formal.
it seems like your answers are based on the courtship's phase,
Okay, so
right?
oh, sorry.
I'm just asking, like, because, like, how do you know if somebody is serious if you're not cutting the person?
Yes.
Uh,
Oh, so the question, you think I should answer based on someone that you
no,
don't
no,
know.
like,
But someone that you don't know, you can't know how serious they are, right? You can't know if they are serious or not. How do you know if
okay.
someone is serious by meeting them on the street? You should have known
Well,
each other, and then you start to know, oh, is this person a serious person, or is this person a joker, or a player? For all I care, the first person that you meet on the street, on the bus, on the train, it's a player. You don't know him. You can't know if somebody
well,
is serious by meeting them the first time only.
for me, the way I see it, right, is it's not what most people do in the church, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I always say you have to get to know the person before anything. You have
Yeah, well,
to
yeah.
talk to people, interact with them. I
Mm-hmm.
know a lot of people in the church, they don't, they feel like, oh, once they are talking to for example, if a guy is talking to a female, automatically they think, oh, there must be something, like, come on, you need to get to know people. You don't just jump into marriage just like that. Just talk to
Mm-hmm.
people, get to know what they're about, get to know them. As a woman, speak to brothers in church, different brothers, know things. Don't just be doing unnecessary discussion amebo, as they usually say. Like useless conversations that doesn't even let you know anything about a person.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
that's to me though. Like that's what I feel. So that's why I'm asking. What do you mean? Are you speaking in terms of courtship, or are you speaking in terms of just friends, or are you speaking in terms of strangers?
Well, if you meet a
Because
stranger for the first time, if you meet a stranger for the first time, if you want to know if that person is a serious person, I mean, this is just me telling you randomly how I would think if I meet someone for the first time and they start to talk to me. I'll listen to the person. I'll
Mhm.
listen to what the person, I'll ask this person questions if we really get, if the journey is long, like most times train rides sometimes can last up to 1 hour, or maybe you're on a flight, or maybe you're on a long on a coach, you're traveling from one place to another and you met somebody. I'll have conversations with the person and know um
Even
what the
church
person,
barbecues and all that.
even online. Yeah, what did you say? Can you say that again?
Church barbecues and
Oh, church barbecue. Yeah, if you meet the person for the
dinners.
very first time,
Uh,
first I want to know. That's if the person. I mean, it's hard to just start getting deep with someone that you just meet for the first time. It's
it's
very hard.
easy if you know how to go into it.
Well, maybe because it takes me a while to warm up to people. I don't just open myself to people and start telling you about me. And because I'm this kind of don't ask, don't tell kind of person, I would not ask you because maybe I don't want to tell you anything. Right. So it will take me a while to really warm up to you. And while it's taking me a while, is me observing you, observing how you behave with other ladies and around other ladies.
But think about it
And
like this. How about like because I think you are thinking about it from the frame of mind of marriage immediately, right? Like
Mhm.
so when somebody's talking to you, you are thinking, is that person thinking marriage already or not? No.
Mm.
For me, I'm just saying like just as a friend, just meet people you're networking. Just imagine it, to me, I just imagine it like it's a workplace. Like you
Okay.
get to know people.
Yeah.
So if it's a workplace, you get to know things about people, right? You just
Yeah.
share some stories. When you share some stories, day to day, share some stories. Maybe you love this kind of food. You talk about food through those kind of little small talks. You get to learn one or two things, or you get to know if this person uh, is serious about themselves somehow. Um, but yeah, basically,
Well,
it depends.
well, mainly I would like to know what kind of does the person read books? What kind of movies do they watch?
Mhm.
What kind of places do they go to? And in knowing the kind of places that they go to, where they hang out, where they like to go and hang out, that kind of would give me an idea of what kind of
Person.
likes, what
Mm.
hobbies, like what kind of things like do they like. And I mean, for some people it might be okay, but some other people those kind of things might not be okay. um and I would also want to know like what kind of past have they had, but not really, as in what are the things that formed or shaped their views about life or their perspective about life, like
Mm.
where they're coming from, their background, um some events in their lives that it might not be so deep, not too personal, but when people talk they tend to want to tell you um where they're coming from and how that shapes what they're saying. Because in the
Mhm.
midst of conversation, they tell you, "Oh, I remember a story when my dad said this or my mom said this, and from that has made me like this." Like me, I always say that. My dad always says that the way up is the way down. And that's to
Mm.
say humility. My dad believes that we all came to this world without any clothes or any property or anything on us, and that you go back away from this world like that, just the way you came. Even if they throw things in the grave site, you cannot take it along with you. You cannot take it along with you. Those things are going to get rotten and rot and rust there under the ground. So live your life like as if you are not holding on to anything. And that
Mm.
what really matters in life is the way you live, the parts, the prints that you leave on this earth. And so for someone like me, I believe in the kind of life that you live, the value of what you leave behind you, legacy. What do people know you for? What kind of name is associated with you? Those are the kind of things that forms how I look at life or how I perceive life. And I believe that anything that I don't want anybody to give to me, I won't give it to them. So then you
Mhm.
start to ask yourself, what do you want people to give to me? Right?
Mhm.
And then once the person is able to explain to me, okay, me, I will appreciate if somebody treats me, listens to me. I appreciate, like very simple thing. It's very simple. If you when I meet someone for the first time, I kind of listen to how they talk, how they talk about women, how they talk about marriage. You will meet people who will say, no, 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 no. I've met a guy. Okay, for example, let me give you a practical example. One of the guys at my office, I used to talk with him often. And one day, as I was talking, I said, "Oh, what do you think? What do you think about marriage? Are you married?" I think I asked him, "Are you married? Or what are you going to do during the weekend?" He said, "Oh, he's going to take care of his animals and nature and all of that." And I'm like, "Oh, are you married, or are you, do you plan to? You're not going to spend any time with a human being?" And he's like, "No, no, 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 no. He doesn't plan to get married. He doesn't. He's a very serious person. He's a very serious person. But if I wasn't married, that kind of person will not be a serious person to me. As
Mm.
in terms of work, he's serious. In terms of, every other thing about nature and all of that, he can be a go-to person. But in terms of relationship, that's not it. So that's why I say seriousness. This topic is very relative. This question
Mm.
is very relative. So what you term as a serious person might not be a serious person to another person. Like two people will look at one person and say, "Oh, this is a very serious guy, focused guy." And that person will see him and say, "No, no, 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 it's not my type of guy." And it's so at the end of the day, just find
Well,
what do you see as what is serious to you? What's a sign of seriousness to
so
you?
okay. So for
In
me,
function of that, you can determine what do you see a serious person to be. Like, for example, technically, if I meet someone who likes to gamble, I would not see that person as a serious person.
mm,
Someone who gambles a lot, for me, is not a serious person because I feel that it's risky. Because at the end
mm,
of the day, if he's addicted to gambling, then that could be a problem for us down the road. How will I plan to invest with this kind of person? How do we plan to build anything in the future together? And he has told me upfront that this is one thing, even if he calls it a weakness, that's already a red flag for me, right? I would run away. So what are the things that what you as a lady, what do you want from your man? What are you looking for? So if it's a guy that's asking, what is a lady looking for from a man to consider him as a serious person? A lady wants to see a man who plans to have a home in the future. She wants to see a man who plans to go to work and is willing to come back home. Not a man who, after going to work, he goes and he wants to hang up with his buddies and he comes back home at maybe 3 a.m. and he stays playing video games all night. I mean, some people can do that at a certain time in their life, but you get to a certain age where that cannot be what you do every day because
I
that's
mean,
another kind of addiction, right? I mean, you can say he's lonely and he just
no,
do it
no.
for the fun of
This
it.
this is what I'm thinking about when you say that, because I've worked with a colleague too. She says she loves gaming. A lady, by the way.
Okay.
So like, if two people like that meet, it's a perfect match.
Oh yeah.
So
So how much gaming does she love?
a lot.
Good. Then her house is going to be disorganized, right? She won't have time for other
we
things.
don't we don't know that. So I don't know
So
that.
I mean,
Okay.
how much gaming do you like? How much does it
But,
take of your
but
time?
my point is that gaming is a habit that two people can enjoy, and they can enjoy it together. So just because one person doesn't like it doesn't mean that it is something that's terribly bad for
No,
everybody.
I'm not saying that it's terribly bad. I'm saying that's some kind of gaming. Like some people can play games and they can play it for the next. They can play games to two till 2 a.m.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A lady too can do that till 4
Okay.
a.m.
So if she's doing that, what happens? She's not going to go to work the next day.
Well, she goes to work, but there are some games. For example, she tells me, "Oh my God, this game is coming out next week. I can't
Mhm.
wait." And then I'm like, "Really?" She said, "Yeah." She said, "Like last time I was playing this game, I played it till like 2 a.m. in the morning." I'm like, "Really? Is that interesting?" It's like you can't believe it. So you see,
Wow.
especially I think it's more of like different people have different type of things that makes them more, because she said that if she didn't do that, she might relapse into like drugs or things like that.
Okay, so something replaced, right?
Everybody has things that keeps them going, right? Some people weekend like this, they're thinking of, oh, how what can I do to relax myself. Some people you go and do all kinds of vices, right?
Yeah.
So to me, I feel like seriousness is based on, in terms of the relationship, like, is that person showing that they're willing to have a partner in their life,
Yeah.
and they are willing to put in their own effort to make
Mhm.
the partnership work. Are
Yeah.
they? To me, I'm seeing it just from the guy's point of view. I'm seeing it like, uh,
Mm.
is this person I want to be with? Can that person match with what I like or what I don't like
Mm-hmm.
in terms of some core things that is non-negotiable? Um, can this person adapt? Can this person, um, what's their mindset in terms of like partnership as a couple? Is this person the type of person that thinks that, oh, any little things, any disagreement, I'm running for the hills and we separate our ways. So like I don't like those kind of people. To me, I feel like
Yeah.
that person is not conditioned yet
Understood.
for marriage, and
Right.
because I believe that marriage is a environment where you get to discover things that you never anticipated,
Yeah,
and
that's true.
at the end of the day, you have to deal with it. So if you don't have the mindset of, oh, I'm in this, not just for the good things, but how can I adapt to
Mm.
make what is not good in this to actually become good,
Mm.
right? Like a lot of people have some strange habits that they will not clearly display when they're cutting you. So it's when you
Get
actually
married.
get comfortable, you're married, and that's when you start seeing it. Like, I
Mm.
think I was telling you one of something about somebody that I was like, it's disgusting for me. so,
Yeah.
so, so that kind of behavior, if you don't know it and you find out, and then you're like, oh my God, what did I get into? No. At the end of the day, you have to deal with it. And it's something that will stay with you for a very long time. So to me, that's why I understand by somebody that is a serious sister at least. But generally speaking, me
Mhm.
as a guy, when I hear sisters say, yeah, I want a serious person, I don't really understand sometimes what it
Mm.
means. So
Yeah, well, it's very relative at the end of the day. The person who asked the question, I'll just tell you that it's all about what you term as seriousness. What you feel is a serious person or serious attitude might just not be it for another person. So, what are you looking for? There are basic things that you expect. Okay, a man should be a provider, right? A man that has a job or that is looking for a job, that's not depending on living. You know, some people can live with their parents, but they're living with their parents because they have to take care of their aged parents, but they have a good job, and they go and come. And some of them also have investments. So the fact that someone is living with their parent doesn't mean that they don't have their own place. Some people, I know a lot of people, a lot of at work, sometimes when I talk to people, you see them, they live with their mom or their dad, but they'll tell you, "Oh, I have an investment property, or I have two investment properties," and they can put that on rent and hope that when they get married and if they need to move out of their parents' house, then they would move into one of their investments, one of their houses. Or maybe their parents are almost going to nursing home and they think that, okay, they were going to keep this home going and the parent don't want them to sell off the house. So there are various reasons why people are, you just ask them directly, why do you still live with your parents, and what is the plan? Those are conversations that you have. That's when you are actually, like, the person has proposed to you, you're planning to get married. But if you're just meeting the person for the first time, there is little or no way to know a lot about if the person is serious or not, because they'll tell you whatever they want you to hear, or they'll just tell you random things that over
Mm.
time you might check and find out that it's not really what you heard the first time that made you fall over heels in love with them, right?
Mm.
So it's mainly for when I want to believe that that person who's asking the question is courting or is looking, planning to get married to this person, and they're wondering, like, what can I be looking for in this person to say that, okay, this person is a serious person? Is the person hardworking? Does the
Mhm.
person love God? Does the person have a personal relationship with God? What are their values? What are the tenets of their life? What do they consider as deal breakers? What do they like? How do they live their lives? Are they the kind of people that believe that, oh, I can be getting married or I can be in a serious relationship and still keep a very serious relationship with my exes? Those are some of the no-nos that you want to check out. They will tell you, you see some people, they say, oh, this person, she's my ex, but she's my best friend. Like, how? That doesn't make any sense. Don't, I
She's
mean,
my
if
best
that
friend.
if that is not cleared out, you're going to have an a silence rival in that marriage. I mean, you cannot be the
Mm.
best friend with your ex. Somebody once asked me, that her husband, who they just got married, and then her husband asked her something. He said, my ex, after about maybe I think the ex, or the person that he has had, like, sexual intercourse with, that person, they lost contact, and that guy had gone somewhere far away. And then he said that the ex found him on Facebook. Should he accept the friend request? I'm like, what? Your own husband is asking you that? Say yes, he's asking her if he could accept the friend request of his ex. I'm like, why does he always ask why? Why do people do what they do? Why do you need to keep the relationship? So that you can be reminiscing, a bit discussing or going back to remember the good old days with them? Or what's the goal? So that you can be sharing a beautiful picture of your wife with them, or your adventures and your expeditions and everywhere that you go with your new wife? Is that why? Is that what you want to keep? Why does he need to? I say, ask your husband why they need to keep the relationship with their ex while they are married to you. Why do they need that? What do they want to talk about? What are they catching up on? So one or two things, one, two,
So
three, before
are
you
you
know
saying
it,
that
it becomes
once you date
something else.
somebody, are you saying that anybody that you dated in the past, you should delete their numbers?
So why do you want to keep the numbers? It's very
uh,
interesting. I learn a lot.
I
I
don't
learn
I
a
don't
lot
agree
from,
with that
from
though.
men. I learned a lot from men. Okay. There's something I noticed about men.
Mhm.
Before I got married, okay, there's so many guys, they're your friends. They want to be nice to you. They want to help you. You know that they like you or whatever it is. You have very good relationship with them. And they think that they're prospective husbands to you. And then, thank you, HVMZA. Thank you. You know that they like you, okay, but maybe for some reason they didn't propose to you. Now I got proposal from my husband, right? And now I get married to my husband. You know what happens? All of them cut off. They stop saying hello. Some of them even lost your number. Men don't Most men don't have time. They've moved on to something else. So there is no hope there. I mean, serious minded men, except a guy who thinks maybe let me get into this marriage, maybe it's not going to be fun, then I'll go and catch up with some fun times with myself. Because okay, why didn't you just marry that ex? Why are you keeping their number?
No, like
Because they're your mechanic? Why are you keeping their number? They're your stylist, massage therapist. Why are you keeping their number?
for me, I think it depends on the context. Like for example, if it's somebody that has contacts of things that you needed, right? Like for
And you
example,
think they will keep giving you everything that you need after you dump them and you know marry them?
I mean, if you didn't have bad blood, right?
Hmm.
They,
So
they,
what
they
made
can
you?
still
What will make you go your separate ways? Someone that you want to love and you're supposed to get
people
married
people
to.
people can actually end a relationship on a cordial agreement,
Hmm.
not fights. There are
And
relationships like that, like where
and
you
then you
just you both understand that you're not on the same page, and
okay,
in terms of marriage, and you know
okay,
that you have different kinds of uh, goals in a marriage. For
mhm,
example, let's say two people, they were together,
yeah,
and later on one person finds out that, oh, I don't like kids, I don't want to have kids.
okay,
Does that person become your enemy because he doesn't like kids or she doesn't like kids? No, they're not your enemy. They're not. They just don't match what you want. So you just end up saying, okay, I want kids. I have to go with somebody that I want kids with,
all
right?
right. And then you
So
keep that relationship, is that? You just keep the
you
relationship.
don't necessarily. What I'm saying is, you don't necessarily need to be talking to that person regularly.
Mm-hmm.
You only, let's say, for example, if that person has something that you probably need in the future. To
Okay.
me, I don't think is there's a necessity to delete that person number. Why do you need to delete that number? For what?
But is it okay for everyone in that relationship to do that? Your wife to collect the
Yes,
numbers of her
so
exes?
long as so long as you're not keeping like a regular communication, right? Like you're not. To me, this is my
So
mentality. It
what
doesn't
if
work
the
for everybody, but
mm-hmm.
for me, I know how to separate. This is a relationship based on transaction, or this is a relationship that is purely about like marriage, right? So
Okay.
for me, I wouldn't have a problem with a partner that has the contact of their ex, right? So long as they're not every day calling that ex and asking for things, that will not be acceptable. But
Hmm.
if you have that person's contact, maybe you know that that person is in charge of the Canada port. You have that person's contact. Why would you delete that person's contact? That's an important contact for us. I mean, if that person is a lawyer that knows how to solve some certain type of cases, an accountant that knows some things that I will need, a doctor, come on, why would you delete that kind of resource that you
Okay, what
built
if they're
over
not
time?
all of that?
If they're not all of that, then there is no practical use to that person. It's only that what is it called? It's only the emotional connection that you have. Then it's no point, right? You might as well be with that person, right? So that's my view of
Okay.
it. Like, but unfortunately, a lot of women don't know how to separate that. Like once they have a serious relationship with somebody, they tend to always go back to that. If they talk to that person, it's always going back to that emotional whatever. So that's why I personally don't agree with women having like besties and all that. To me, is a big no. Any guy that is allowing that is
Oh,
just
besties as a guy, being the bestie of the
yeah.
lady.
A lot of women like to say that. Oh, he's my bestie. What bestie? Are you serious? Are you serious? What do you mean by bestie? So so that for me is a no no. But like what I'm talking about is a clear definition of this. You know your boundaries with this your ex, and you know that you're not about to be calling the person, "Oh, how are you doing?" Blah blah blah, and be sharing stories. That is a no-no, right? Some people
Yeah.
will say it's technically is emotional cheating. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, in that sense, no. But like, I mean, what I'm against is I don't think is necessary. A lot of people believe that, oh, once I've dated this person, I need to block that person. I need to delete that. No, come on, man. That person is. Are you telling me it was only emotional bond you had? You had no other interests that you shared together. You had no other common grounds. To me, that means your relationship was very empty. It's very shallow. So
Yeah.
I don't
I still
just
have
have
relation.
relationships.
I still have numbers. I don't know if I have their numbers. Maybe I lost my phone and I lost their number, but some of them I still talk to them on Facebook once in a while. They can say happy birthday to me, and they just say happy birthday to you, long time. And all of them have eventually gotten married, and not all of them. One of them is still not married, and the guy that's not married, he doesn't really converse so much with me anymore. He's still my friend on Facebook, but he doesn't really converse with me. So that's it. So, but we don't have any much in common anymore because 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 we don't talk a lot anymore. You don't talk with someone so much. Over time, your interest shifts, and you can catch up if you want to, but most times it becomes like a platonic friend. And if you're really committed in your
That's the
marriage,
point.
it takes a while for that flame to start to, I mean, for the flame to come alive again. Except if you start having problems in your marriage and you're going to that person to solve your marital problems and you're telling them, hey, I have this problem, what do you think? And all of that. And then you're opening a door.
Okay, she blanked out. I don't know why, but like, yeah. So as I was saying, for me, I believe more on. I believe more in keeping a relationship that is cordial, even with your past relationships, right? So, but you need to let your partner to know also about it, and well, all the same, generally speaking, I think most people are better off cutting off because they cannot handle the separation between feelings um, and the ability to just be um, what's the word, social, right? Yes. So, and the other question we have here is, as a man, what's delaying you from approaching that church lady? Um, so that's the next question. What's delaying you as a man from approaching that church lady? So I think this person is asking in terms of like there are so many sisters in church. Maybe this is a sister asking. I don't know because the question is anonymous, so we don't know. So um, as a man, it could be so many different things that could hinder a guy from approaching his sister in church. For example, a lot of times most most guys don't find sisters that they feel like can be that have the trait of a motherly figure. Um, let's say the sister in church has everything that you ever prayed for in a wife, and still was the problem with not approaching that sister. Sometimes um, you have to understand that sometimes some guys they just don't know the process. They don't know how to go about it, right? And that's where I think our churches need to do a little bit more of seminars for single people to know how to approach a sister in church. And but aside from going the marriage committee route, I think the first thing for me, I'm not advising everybody to do this, but for me, I like to know people before I actually like uh, think about them in terms of marriage and pray about it and all of that. So I will actually start by getting to know the sister first in terms of like general knowledge of that person. Oh, what does the person do? What do they do for work? What are they like with certain scenarios with money? How do they spend their weekends? How do they spend their salary? What do they do to relax? How do they manage their anger? Like sometimes I try to trigger people just to see how they're going to react to irritations, like and it's very important to know how people can manage pressure. Sometimes I pressurize my friends just to see how much pressure they can take, and so I know how to deal with them. Right, like some people,
Mm.
you'll be surprised they are very quiet. When they explode, you'll be shocked. While some people they have the kind of temperament that they they're angry right now and then the next minute they're good. So you need to know what you're dealing with and how can you um, pair with that person, right? So for me, I think a delay in approaching sisters in church sometimes is also some form of trauma that person can be experiencing and they need to kind of like deal with it with therapy and all of that.
Mm.
Sometimes it could be that the person feels that they are not ready, and trust me, there are some brothers they're actually ready, but they think that they're not ready for some reason because they feel
Yeah.
like this type of sister that they want is going to need this, is going to need that, is going to need the whole world, and he wants to get the whole world first before he's going to, think about the
Yeah.
sister. While there are some sisters they don't care about all of those things. All they want is let's build this life together and grow together, right? You never know. So sometimes it's just your personal standards that is holding you back. And
Mhm.
you might not necessarily need to have those personal standards so strict, right?
Mhm.
And sometimes also some people they are afraid of the danger of a failed marriage, right? They don't want to be part of the story of, oh, I know that guy
Mhm.
that he just got married and then his wife left him, or uh, her husband left her, or something like that. So people, a lot of times people just look at people that they respect so much, celebrities, stories. You hear that this was a beautiful marriage, everybody was celebrating it, and then tomorrow you hear another negative news about that couple, and you're
Mhm.
like, wait, hold on a minute. What's going on? I thought this was a perfect couple.
Mhm.
Right? So, and you start questioning, how am I sure it's not going to happen to me? Is it actually worth it? Can I handle this if it happens to me? You
Fear of
know,
the unknown.
fear of the unknown can be very, 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 very scary, right? To a lot of people. And also, sometimes, like I was speaking to one of my brother in church. We are both single, so we talk about things, and we were just talking about how, man, a lot of these sisters these days are not ready. um, you see a sister in church like this, and then outside of church they're like this. You're confused, like what's going on. so, so
Mhm.
like at some point we are feeling like, oh man, these sisters in church, can we really trust them? you know, so so like I mean.
So you're talking about double
And
standard in dressing? I mean, they
double
dress a certain way in
standard
church and
in
then they dress a certain
dressing,
way outside, or they react a certain way in church and they react a certain way outside. Is that what you mean?
mannerism, dressing, all of that. Yeah, you see, for example, you've seen some people in church that, oh, they're in church and they stayed in church for a bit, and then just because something happened and they
Yeah.
didn't like what happened in church, and then they changed their church, and then everything changes about them. You're like, well, what
So
happened?
you're so wild. What can I say?
What
What happened?
happened? What? So you are not actually who you said you are when you were in the church, or are you just
Mm,
doing church?
yeah.
You don't actually believe in what is going on in the church personally. You're just doing it because they said, "Oh, let's cover our
Mm,
head." You cover your head. "Oh, let's dress like this." You dress like that. You're just following the crowd. So that's the kind of people
yeah.
that.
It's a complete no
If
no.
you, for me, I believe that if you want to identify as somebody that wears trousers, wear it. Let's see you. So if
Mm,
we decide to accept you like that, fine and good. If you're the person that wears earrings, wear it, let's see you, right? There's no need to pretend just to uh, conform to a certain church. No.
mm,
If you're not convinced by it, you read your Bible, you're not convinced by what is in the Bible about those certain topics, then stick by your conviction. Let's know who you are. Not that
mm.
tomorrow, because you left the church now, all we are going to see is another person.
Yeah.
It's not the best.
See.
Yep.
Okay. So well,
So
I think we have covered up what a lady, what is delaying a man from approaching a church lady. So that double standardness and all of that. I believe that my definition of seriousness in a young man is clear. That's very relative to what you feel, what you expect it to be for seriousness.
mhm.
And so if you, I mean, there are basic things that you expect from a man that professes love to you. I mean, like if somebody wants to marry you, there are basic things. Does he have a job? Does he believe in God? Because whatever he believes is going to, like, he's the head of the family, right? He's going to become the head of the family. And they say if the head is not well, the whole body is not well. So make sure that this person is well. Is going to be the head. Before you submit to somebody, make sure that that person is someone who submits to God. Because someone who submits to nobody, it's completely someone, a man without, who is not under authority, does not understand what it means to have authority.
Mm,
That's just the truth. So that man who talked to Jesus said, I am a man under authority and I know what authority is. So he said, you just speak the word and my servant shall be whole, because he knows what authority is. But a man who doesn't know authority, who does not have any regard to any authority, who just lives like a free, erring lamb, definitely might take you astray. It will take you from what you know, what you believe in, what you stand on, what your convictions are, and he will completely lead you astray. You will not know where you're going. You just be like an erring personality, erring individual in this world, and you don't want to be that. You want to be under authority. You want to be under protection. You want to be under the canopy of somewhere. You have to be known for something, because the world is already full of noise. So if the world is full of noise and you're with someone who runs for every noise, then you definitely will not know where you're going to. Before you know it, you'll burn out in that marriage, you'll burn out in that relationship, and you soon start to regret why you even got into that marriage in the first instance. So as long as he has those basic principles, he has a personal conviction with God, so spiritually sound, financially okay. I'm not I'm not a fan of saying that he has to be very wealthy before you can say yes to him. No, I don't believe in that. I believe that I can have my money, we both can build something very big. And if he's wealthy and it comes to you like that, it's okay, but don't forget to have your own money. Lady, have your money, have your job, have something doing, so that at the end of the day, you don't end up being a dependent person. Someone who just depends on whatever the husband gives her, and you will not have a voice in that marriage. You will not have a voice in that marriage. And then at the end of the day, very soon you'll start getting bored. You soon start getting bored. You soon start getting feeling like, I mean, there's Even if you're not bringing the money to give to your husband, it's good to have your own money. That's He might disagree with it. That's what I believe. That's what I advise every lady to do. It gives you fulfillment. Even if you're keeping the money for yourself, you're investing that money for your own self. It always gives you a sense of purpose to wake up in the morning and you have something that you're doing. You have goals that you're accomplishing and you're seeing the result of the effort that you're putting. You have a job and you're getting your pay. You have a business and you're getting the dividends of your business. You have an investment and you're getting, like, the return on investment. It helps you a great deal. Okay, so I'm not after marry a very look out for a very rich man. No, as long as he has a job that he's doing, he can feed himself and he can possibly feed you, and you guys can be okay. When you get married, yes, that's very important. And then how does he live in his hobby? What does he focus on? How does he live his life? Is it somebody who has value for human life? Is it somebody who values you as a person, who listens to you, who takes your words into consideration, like your pain matters to him, and he wants to see you happy, he wants to take care of you, he wants to protect you, he wants to, he's ready to do as Christ said a man should do, for the church, just like the Bible said, love your wife just like Christ loved the church. Is he able and willing to lay his life for you? Is he able to love you to the point that he's willing to lay his life for you? I mean, when I say figuratively, he's ready to do everything to make you and the kids, when the kids come, comfortable. Yeah, so that's what I can see from off the top of my head. And yeah, so there's another question. I am in a relationship and I love the lady, and she also professes to love me, but my spirit is never at rest with the relationship. Please help me out. What should I do? That's a very good question. And I think that even though you love this lady, you are getting a check mark. So I tell everyone who has gotten into a relationship and they got married eventually and they are regretting that marriage, I ask them one question. Did you have any checks? Did you have any um, loss of peace while you were in the relationship? Did you have any signs that maybe you are in the wrong relationship? Did you ever feel like that? And many times they'll say, yes, I did, but I didn't see that as anything bad. I thought I was the one that was just too demanding, or maybe I was, picking at little things and I didn't give it a second thought, and I just try to silence those thoughts and those fears just because this love that I have for her, or her beauty, or one thing or the other, it weighed heavier than my fear or my lack of peace of mind. I tell people, when your intuition, trust your instincts. I tell the ladies and I tell men to trust your instincts. No matter how much you think you love someone, if you have lost peace of mind in that relationship, take a step back and take a minute to pray, take a minute to access that relationship, take a minute to ask yourself, why am I losing peace? Okay, so peace goes hand in hand with love. You cannot enjoy your love life if there is no peace and rest. There is something you need to check out. That's just you saying that I love my car so much. You go and buy a car, a brand new car, and you say, I love my car so much, but whenever I'm in that car and I'm driving it, it's making a kind of sound, and I am afraid whenever I drive it. I'm wondering if this car is in a good state. You want to check that car and make sure that everything is working, the brake is working, everything is fine before you commit your life to drive that car. I'm just giving that as like a base example. So if you have lost your rest, we're Christians, I would say go and pray about it. Go and pray about it. Ask God to expose to you the hidden things that maybe you are not seeing. What is the thing that is making you to lose, that's making you to not have rest in your heart with that relationship? Find out what it is. Ask questions. Question your fear, question your doubts, and Pay attention to details, and most especially, pray about it. Pray about it and trust me. Trust me. God sees what I can't see, what you cannot see. And God knows the things that we do not know and we do not see. Sometimes people are not exactly what they say they are. There might be something about that person that down the road it will hurt you. And you're not seeing it right now because maybe they are masking it, or they are not talking about it. And when you get married, most times they will tell you, "Oh, I didn't talk about it because you didn't ask me." Because you didn't ask me. Then you start asking yourself, where did I miss this? So take a step back and take some time. Don't rush into the marriage at this point in time. Don't rush into the marriage yet. Let time reveal some things. Take that time to pray. Take that time to ask God for help, and God will tell you. God will lead you. God will lead you in the. God will open up things that you're not seeing right now. It will come out. It will come out somehow. It will come out. And when it comes out, don't make excuses for it. Do the right thing. If you need to run away, run away. Yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah.
So
Okay.
um, I just want to add. I just want to also add that I mean, if sometimes let's say the problem is not actually with the lady, maybe it's something to do with you.
Mm.
Um, you're not having peace because maybe you have some personal fears. I think you should seek counseling about that. There are some people that they tend to struggle with some things, and then they might love somebody, but they don't want to go into the relationship because they're afraid of themselves.
Yeah.
So it's something that you might need to look at and seek help and
Right.
pray to God to help you also um, to overcome that thing.
Yeah.
And another thing is, for me, when I'm when I usually tell people to seek help, especially from your pastor or whoever, professional help, good, take the advice and all of that, but like, don't take it as gospel. At the end
Mm.
of the day, they're just a guide. Take what they told you, assess it, pray to God about it, and
Yeah.
make sure it's aligning with your conviction as a Christian. If it doesn't, I mean, you don't have to take, no matter who that person is, you don't have to take the advice.
Right.
So you should be very, especially nowadays, you should be very, very, very. There are some people that anything their pastor says is gospel, right? And it could be wrong. Your
Yeah.
pastor could be wrong too. Your pastor could be an agent of false prophecy too, just like Balaam was sent to destroy Israel, right? So
Yeah.
you have to be careful with
Mm.
what you take these days. At the end of the day, most importantly, your Bible is your final compass. Like if you can't find the answers in your Bible, um, as much as you talk to people for counseling, you should still spend time to pray about it. So
Mm.
yeah, because this is a one-time contract. You don't get to review it again
Mhm.
and then change your mind, right? So if you're going
Yeah.
into it, you should know that you're going into it to stay, not
Right.
change your mind. So
That's right.
yeah,
Mm.
that's all I wanted to add about that.
Thank you.
So this is the last
That was
question.
the question. That was the question we answered.
This is the last
We're
question.
running out of time now. I think we might have to round
Yeah, I
off.
think I think we should do this one real quick. Do you want to read it or I'll read it?
Okay, greetings, beloved. I need your advice. I'm gifted in dreams. That is, I dream and it comes to pass. That's my own gift from God, and I have been using it in the church prayer group. Recently, I have a revelation in my dream that I was married to a lady, which I knew since years back, and I have been asking God if she is the one because I really loved her, but she's not a Deeper Life member, so a church member from his church. So the problem is I am physically challenged person, and also how can I tell the MC about the lady as she's not a Deeper Life member? Will the MC will the MC agree, and should I go and tell her about it, or should or just forget? Because nowadays ladies don't accept physically challenged persons, even if it's the will of God. I really need your advice. Wow, that's a very loaded question. And first of all, I'll tell you, you are enough, physically challenged or not. Don't let that make you feel that you're not able to marry anyone that you want to get married to. So for those who are physically challenged, what I would tell you is that build upon yourself, just like any other person. Don't let your physical challenge stop you from reaching where you want to or ought to be in life. Try your possible best to to build upon yourself. Build upon yourself. Build on your knowledge. Build, if you need to go to school, go to school. Study as much as you can. Apply for any job that you want. Make sure you have a very good means of income, means of livelihood, and that you have your own passions and the things that you hold dear to you. Because many times ladies look away from how you look if they respect you. Because I know someone who I went to school with, and I think that guy has some kind of cerebral palsy, or he has a kind of physical challenge, and he has a side of his body that is, maybe he had a stroke when he was young, or I don't know what happened to him, but he limps, and one part of his body is kind of, bent, and he takes a long time to talk, and when he talks, he'll take his time, and sometimes he stammers, and I'm just trying to explain to you the kind of person that he is. But when you listen to him, that guy, he has studied so much, he has read so much, he knows so much, he's so vast that by merely listening to him and being patient, if you're not the kind of person that is deliberately denigrating, and that you just look down on people just because you want to look down on them, and you are patient and you listen to him, he's a very intelligent guy, very smart guy, very, very, I mean, when I say intelligent, I mean he is very, very intelligent, very smart guy. And he he went on to have a master's, and went on to have a PhD, and he became a professor, and he teaches in one of the very big universities in Nigeria, and he does big things with his students. He carries them outside of the country. He travels around, and he's respected as the head of department in his university, a federal university. I'm telling you, and from the way other staffs talk to him, you know that they respect him. And he got married. He has children. I think about 3 or 4 children with the wife, and the wife is a complete human being, pretty lady. I mean, she married him not because by pity or anything. She married him because that guy is a man of substance. I can tell you myself that he's a man of substance. He's a guy that he's peaceful, but you have to be patient with him. You have to listen. And those people that are physically challenged, if you look down on them, and when they're talking to you, you sound impatient. For example, for him, it takes him a while sometimes to talk. Sometimes in between, he has to catch his breath before he starts to talk again. And you're like, oh, talk quickly. Was it? Say what you want to say. I want to get out here. And you make it sound like as if he's less of a human. Naturally, that person will react. You will not see the best. You will not get the best out of that person. He will react to you in a negative way, and maybe he will withdraw from you. So first of all, I'm telling this person, build upon yourself, develop yourself, become a person of substance. That people will talk to you and they will know that this person is a person of substance. This person carries weight. He speaks, and when he opens his mouth to talk, the room goes silent. People want to listen to what you're saying. That's number one. Number two, You said you have a dream and your dream and revelation come to pass, okay? And in your dream, you got married to a lady, okay? And you loved her. Yeah, so church does not matter as long as she's a Christian, you're a Christian as well, and she's a Christian. Please don't let that stop you from getting married to the person that you think God is leading you. If you feel that God talks to you through dreams and that your dreams come to pass, pray about it. If you have the go ahead to go on with the marriage plans and steps, go ahead and take the step. Don't always sit down and think about what will happen, what will this person think, what will that person think. When you do that, you stop yourself from doing what you want to do in life. People don't care, trust me. People can talk anything they want to say. At the end of the day, it's your life. People will talk and later they will keep talking. That's just the truth. Don't build your life upon what people will say, what people will think, how they will perceive you. And no, I tell brothers, go and propose to that lady. Do the step. Go to talk to your pastor, talk to your leader, and speak to those ladies. Speak to that lady. The worst thing that a person will tell you is no. And there are two responses to an answer or a question or a request. It's either the person tells you yes or the person tells you no. There's nothing else than that. It's either you hear yes or no and get ready to accept. If they say yes to you, okay, thank you. And then you marry them. If they say no to you, that means there's someone better for you out there. There's someone better for you out there, because you can love someone and the person might not love you. The person might be such that they cannot stand. You are someone who has special needs, and that person might not be the kind of person that is patient enough to live with someone who is physically challenged. So the fact that they love you, some ladies, you think they love you, they just pity you. They're just nice to you because they don't want you to feel bad. And sometimes when they're talking among themselves, the ladies are like, "Oh, I don't judge, he has this physical challenge. I don't want him to feel bad, so I'm just being nice to him." It doesn't mean that she loves you too. So there's only one way to find out if that lady really loves you. The only way you can find out if that lady really loves you is by asking her, "Would you want to be my wife?" You can be very good friends and not be very good partners and husband and wife. So some relationships are best kept as friendship and cannot go into that level of being, marriage partner, husband and wife, romantically involved. Friendship, some people, that's all they can give you. They cannot give you more than that because of maybe their own self. Whatever self thing, they can love you, but they don't want to marry you because of what they think people will think about them. It just shows that that person doesn't really love you. So don't waste your time. Go ahead, speak to your pastor, because you're talking from a church perspective. Speak to your pastor, and when you get the go ahead and ask the lady, and don't mind about your church. Go through the process. It does not stop them. They won't say no. Go and ask first, okay? And so that and then you'll get some guidance. Your pastor might give you some tricks, and he might give you some advice about how to approach the lady and how to talk to her. And then you have that spiritual support, your pastor praying along with you and supporting you in prayers while you go through the process, okay? Or a trusted Christian leader who can help you and hold your hands and support you in prayers. Very important. Yeah, so I think that's my point. That's my advice for that person who asked that question. Okay. Yeah. So do you have something you want to add?
Well, you've said most of it. So
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, you just have to pray to God to direct your steps, because it can be tough. Like when you see somebody that you feel you believe is your wife, and you never know, right? Sometimes you just pray to God, and God will also minister to that person. Uh, so you don't need to worry too much about like, will this person accept me or not?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, if you don't try to
You will know.
find out, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
And for the fact that you said that you believe that God has been speaking to you through dreams, if you are sure that that's the way God has been speaking to you, so why now do you doubt that medium?
Yeah. Right.
Unless you don't really believe that that's the voice of God speaking to you through the dream you had. So
Mm.
if it's truly the case, pray more about it. If the dream keep happening, you should take action. If you don't take action, you're going to be sorry for it later.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah.
that's my take.
Okay. I have a passage of scripture. God has not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, of a sound mind. Okay. So don't be afraid. Go ahead. He that is in you is greater than he that is in the world, and God is backing you up. Cheer up. Go and try. Go and talk to that person, and you'll be surprised. And please don't forget to come and share with us how it went. Okay. Yeah. Thank you
Yep.
so much. I
So
think that wraps
I
up all
think
the
we've covered
questions.
today's questions, right?
Yeah, if we get more questions, we'll come around and talk about them in a live like this. I hope you enjoyed this question and answer Q&A session. I hope you were blessed. Share with us what your take is. What were you blessed? What was the key point for you? What do you want to add to what we have said? What advice do you want to give those people who have asked these questions? And that's it.
Share your thoughts in the comments. Um, so I think we will try to be doing this question and answer very
More
often
often.
as we get them,
Yeah.
so that we can answer some of the people's questions and other
Yeah.
people can also benefit from it.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
Again, if you don't know, you can reach us by email or through the DMs. Should in case you want to share your story on how you met your spouse, maybe it's in
Mhm.
the group or not. I mean, we want to share your story with the group so we can
Okay.
encourage more people to get married again, right?
Right.
So share your story no matter how it is, because everybody has different process to their wedding journey. So it's great if you can share your journey to marriage so the younger ones can learn from you.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for being part of the community. And
Yeah. Follow, like, share, subscribe so that you can be
follow,
and
like, and
click the
share.
notification bell so that you know whenever we're on live. We're live here. Okay.
Yeah. Remember, here, we are not sugarcoating anything. We say it as it is. Some of you might not like it. That's good. Some of you love it. That's great. But here, this platform is mainly about saying it as it is
Right.
and trying as much as possible to talk about the things that cannot be talked about in church.
Mhm.
And we talk about it here so that people can learn from real life scenarios, right? So,
That's right.
checking
Okay.
out.
Check it out. Love you.
Till the
See
next
you next
one,
time.
make sure you
Bye.
stay tuned. Have a good weekend. Bye bye.